Right, we should be up and loaded really, really soon. Day 3, about to kick it off. And we are G.
Are you going to spell it?
All
We
right.
are.
All right. I'm going to hit mute all real quick again one more time. Just unmute yourself, Nance.
I am good.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy day 3. And Nance, I'm also going to make you co-host.
Excellent.
As everybody jumps in, please do make sure that you hop into the comments and say hi and where you are tuning in from. We always love hearing where, all the different people are coming in from. And, what you're most excited about for tonight. Because, Nancy put up a poll earlier today about Trello, and if anyone had heard of Trello. And it's honestly, it's been such a lifesaver for the way that we run our business and the way that we run our company. Just because, obviously we're very much and big into keeping things organized. So also drop into the comments below what your biggest takeaway has been so far between day 1 and day 2. Obviously, day 1 we went over, we talked about the bottlenecks in your business and the thing that you needed to be really focusing on. Obviously, last night we talked about creating your own CEO schedule because again, we're looking to run our businesses like CEOs, and it really doesn't matter what our business is. It's got to be organized. So drop into the comments below. What's been the biggest takeaway so far? Has it been night 1? Has it been night number 2? What specifically from night 1 and night 2? And also just a congratulations to all of those people that have been continuing to do the accountability exercises to move yourself forward. If I make myself always available, people will use all of my time. Absolutely. That is something that people will take advantage of. Organizing your timing. Yeah. It's when you're looking to organize your business from, top down, as we call it, there are a lot of moving pieces that a lot of people don't realize that are moving within their business. And again, what we're looking to teach all of you are to be the CEOs of your business. If you're doing something that's generating income, whether it's a little bit or whether it's a lot, you have to get some things organized. You have to get some things working in the right direction to make sure that you're staying organized. And someone put getting organized and really getting my schedule straight. The workbook is so much value. Just thinking through my schedule has already changed my business. Yeah, it's funny when you start, as Nancy and I call it, taking that 10,000 foot view of your business and what it looks like and, what you want it to look like. Things really start to shift and things really, really start to change. Nancy, anything to add before we start diving into tonight?
I just want to recognize, everyone who shared their homework. And, I got a couple emails as well with some screenshots and a breakdown. And you guys just did such a wonderful job. And I kind of geek out a little bit on like Google Calendars and things like that. So I love everyone who, shared kind of their process and what they've put into place. So really, really awesome job on the homework and all the homework really up to this point, because again, as a reminder, this is the first time we're doing this training. So we're kind of learning, all right, is this too much information? Is this not enough? Is it, so we're trying to kind of pace ourselves and you guys have just been doing such a wonderful job. So awesome job and excited to dive into today's training.
Yeah. And the one other question that we had for all of you, type in the chat box, what's something that we covered so far in the first 2 days in regards to organizing your business that you never even thought about? It was completely foreign to you. You're like, man, I never even thought about looking at my business that way. So what is something that we've gone over where you're like, whoa, that is something different. That is something that I never really, financial and operation accounting systems. Yeah. No matter what your business is or is not making, really taking a deep look at the operations, client overview document. Yep. What does your audience want and not want? Do you have an overview document? Yeah. How do I work with people? Exactly. So really understanding all of those things as well is big. And again, we really want people to have a full scale operation, have a full scale business. Think about anyone that's had a 9 to 5 or maybe still has a 9 to 5. Any company that you've been a part of, that you worked for, the top of the company, this is the things that they go over. They're going over their financial reports. They're organizing their business like this. Client experience outline, absolutely. Defining my services, the operations, yeah. Doing the financial stuff, realizing how much I make per hour. Yeah, that's been a big eye opener for a lot of people. Financial organization, again, defining the services even more. Exactly. So what we're going to be going over tonight, again, and what I'll say is this: as you organize your business with wherever it is right now, as your business grows, you're going to acknowledge and you're going to notice other bottlenecks. As things grow and scale, there are things that Nancy and I are focusing on our business now that we weren't having to focus on just a year ago. And it really shifts and changes that quickly and that much. So just know, wherever you're starting right now with getting your business organized, this is something that you want to go back and review as often as you need to. So if all this is making sense so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. Now, the other thing that we want you to think about is really organizing your business, and not just understanding your business. There's a difference between understanding your business and organizing your business. Now, full transparency, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you guys to type this in the chat box. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being fully competent, 1 being, I feel like I'm clueless sometimes, where would you rate yourselves as understanding how to leverage and use technology when it comes to organizing your business? So scale 1 to 10, 10 being, I'm crushing it, I'm rocking it, 1 being, it overwhelms me. So 7, 2, 5, 5, 7, 3, 6, 4, 8. So we got a 1 to 2. We got people that are all over the place. Now, no matter how old you are or young you are or new you are to running and operating and really getting your business organized, everyone starts in the same place. The T. Harv Eker always talks about every master was once a disaster. So there are things that we need to lean into. And the more often you do something, the easier and the better it gets. So if there are aspects of technology that really push you and really make you feel uncomfortable, that's okay. That's okay. Because again, what we're looking to do is show you the simplicities of how you can leverage technology in a very baseline manner to really grow and scale your business. Nance, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, what I would like to kind of get a poll and a feel for everyone on here, and I did share this in the group as well. So thank you for sharing your tech, and how comfortable you are with that. Who has heard of Trello? Okay, and Trello is a project management tool. So can you type a Y or a yes in the chat box if you have heard of Trello?
Or enter no if you haven't.
What's that? Yeah, yes or no. Okay, so most of us, at least the people are posting so far. Okay, we've got a couple no's here and there. Excellent. So, we're definitely going to dive a little bit deeper into Trello today. And what I want to throw out there is really premise it by saying you might learn something new. Okay, so this is one of those things where if you haven't really, gotten really in there and built out things within Trello, I'm going to give you hopefully some inspiration and show you some things that I've done. And all I can say is Trello. And by the way, I always use the free version. I've never paid for Trello. They offer so many amazing capabilities with the free version. So, tonight's homework, just giving you a little like heads up, it is to sign up for Trello and get started and actually create your first board. So I'm literally going to walk you through step by step. And, Rochelle's on here, and I wanted to do a huge shout out to Rochelle. I actually looked at her homework for the CEO schedule, and I clicked on it, and she had a nice little Trello board built out with every day of the week and all the different things that she wanted to accomplish. And it was just wonderful. So huge shout out to Rochelle. And, want to share with you guys that if you have an open mind and you're open and willing to learn, I can promise you, with my years of experience and doing project management behind the scenes and all kinds of stuff, Trello has been the easiest. Okay. We're talking about the smallest learning curve of how you can use it. And it's really the sky's the limit on how you can use it. So I'm going to go ahead, Scott. I think I can share screen, right?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Perfect.
So if you guys are ready to dive into really learning how to organize your business, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. Now, full transparency before Nancy starts to dive in. Nance, I'll hide the video panel too. Hold on for a second.
Thank you. Do I need to do it on my end as well?
I think you do, because you just shared your screen. So you have to actually do it.
And how do I?
You got to go to view options on the screen.
Let's see. Is it?
No, you can't.
Here, I'm going to hit stop share. If you want to,
I don't know if I can do it from here.
Let me see.
Because I think I would have to share my screen.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I see where it says stop video. And it says, let's see.
I mean, Nance, go to full screen.
Hide video panel. I see hide video panel.
Yep. Hide video panel. That's what you want to hit.
Perfect. All right. Everybody's disappeared. So it feels like I'm all by myself, but, can you guys type a Y or a yes in the chat box if you can see the slide?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Okay. And again, I want you guys in a great mental, great mind space here, ready to learn and to see how you might be able to use this in your business. Okay. So we went over all the basics. Of course, day 1, day 2, we're now on day 3, which is learning how to get organized in your business. So last night, okay. And Scott, can you accept everybody who's coming in?
I am. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, perfect. All right. So yesterday you guys did your CEO schedule, right? And you did such a wonderful job. And the one thing that I definitely wanted to share, and you guys have already dropped it in the group and a couple of people already posted it. But one of my favorite ways to really time block and block out my calendar is to actually use my Google Calendar. Okay. And a lot of people ask me this, and this is, a question obviously a lot of you guys had whenever you signed up for the workshop. Of course, I'm going to share my favorite tools, that I love to use and that I have used that work for me. But I'll just tell you that Google Calendar and really the Google environment, right? All the other things in the Google universe, whether it's Google Drive or, Google Gmail, right? I use them all for my business. And I find that it's
called the Googleverse.
The Googleverse, yes. So that is what I prefer. And that's what I can really speak to mostly with all different things. I'm going to show you how impactful it can be if you choose, one main system to kind of build out the things in your business, okay? So with this, I just gave a little example, right? This was actually some kind of like time blocking thing. It was like a calendar that I had added. It was like a little template. But what you can do is you can actually create a calendar within Google and you can time block things. And the neat thing is, and I'll even show you, this is one that I created for myself a while ago. You can block it like this and you can turn it into all different colors, and you can, instead of blocking it out so that people can't schedule, you can actually make it so that it's, open and free. And I'm going to show you really quick on my own calendar, because I think sharing the screen might be a little better. So I'm going to go to my schedule for next week, for example. Okay. So if I wanted to go ahead and create something like reoccurring, which actually here's my weekly routine. Let me make all that go away. Okay. So if I wanted to go ahead and block out my schedule, completely in a certain way, and actually, you know what I want to do? I think it might be even better if I create a new calendar. Okay. So when you're in Google Calendar, and guys, you can get in this right through Gmail. When you're actually logged into your Gmail, you can click the little dots up here that say Google Apps.
Well, Nance, real quick.
Yeah.
Guys, really quickly, type in the chat box. What is the email provider you use? Do you use Gmail? Do you use Yahoo? Do you use
iCal?
Yeah, iCal, Gmail. Good. I mean, at this point, everyone should have a Gmail account, and the great thing is, you can integrate any calendar that you have with Gmail, Outlook,
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty
Yahoo.
much. Yeah.
It can all integrate, but Gmail is such a powerful tool, just from not even using it for email, using it for the calendar aspect. It's an absolute game changer. Yeah, and Neil just wrote Outlook and Gmail integration. Yep.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So you can, obviously sync everything up together and have it all in one place. But, the neat thing is you can add lots of different calendars. If you guys have different Gmail accounts, right? I have quite a few. You can sync up all the calendars. And if you guys are like, how in the heck do I do that? Go to Google and search it. How do I add my, different Gmail accounts to the Google Calendar? The other question I get a lot is, how do I sync, up my different accounts? And you can go simply as, Google Outlook, how to sync my Outlook to Google. There's a quick little setting. You just go to settings, you copy the URL, and literally it takes 2 seconds. And again, it's going to bring all your calendars together in one place. So you can see, if I have like calendars unchecked, they're not going to show up, but I can go ahead and click and boop, that's going to appear, and it's going to overlay on each different one.
Yeah,
but the whole thing,
just really quickly, and Cynthia asked, is this only computer or phone? And if you download the Google Calendar app on your phone, it syncs with your phone. They talk to each other. So if you add something on your phone to your Google Calendar, it'll appear on the desktop one as well. So they sync right up.
Yep. And actually, for anyone who has an iPhone, it's really easy to actually sync your Google Calendar to your iCal. And you do that. Again, I'm just going to challenge you guys, do a little research, right? Go on Google, how to sync, my Google Calendar to my iPhone. It's a couple steps. Literally, it's going to email, going to your accounts, and then adding that Gmail account in there. So it's really, really easy. But anyway, so you can create. So let's say you've already been using Google Calendar for a while, but you've never really kind of time blocked or never set up your own like little time blocked calendar. You can go in here, and this is just on the left-hand side, and you can select. So this little plus button where it says other calendars, you can click create new calendar. Okay. So you could name it, maybe I'm going to do, my CEO schedule, right? So maybe I'll do that and then click create calendar. All right. So it's going to take a few minutes. And then, what happens is I can now use that calendar and really build it out and, pretty much create my own little CEO schedule in there. So I've done that before. Actually, I'm going to use this as an example in here. And you can see actually that CEO schedule just populated under my calendars. So with CEO schedule, I can go in here and let's say, you guys, let me think of someone, just using them as an example. I think someone in here said that in the morning, probably from 7 to maybe 9 o'clock, right? They're, eating breakfast and getting ready for the day. Okay. So we can put getting ready for the day. Okay. Now down here, you'll notice, okay, see where it says CEO schedule, there's a little color, there's a little thing that says busy. Now, if you leave it as busy, it is going to block that out, meaning no one else can schedule your time. If you have a program like an electronic scheduler like Calendly or Acuity or something like that. So you want to take that off if you don't want to block that time out. Now, this little getting ready for the day, I would block that out. So I would leave that as busy because we don't want people booking calls. We don't want to be available at that time. Now, what you can do is now from maybe 9 to 10, or like, let's say you want to check your email whenever you first start your day. So you can do maybe 9 to here, we'll just do 9 to 9:30. You can type whatever in there. So this could be checking and responding to emails. Okay. And maybe I want to change that to a different color. So you can just click down here. You can maybe change it to whatever color, floats your boat.
Show them the repeat function as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great suggestion, right? So boom, now I've got, checking and responding to emails. And then you know what? I still don't want people to be able to book calls during then because I want to be able to have a little breathing time to check the emails, all that good stuff. Now, if you want to create this as a repeating thing, okay, because what I'm doing right now is I'm just creating a one time, this is just going to happen on, August 1st. What you can do is go up here to where it's got the time listed out and see where it says does not repeat. You can click on that and you can put when you want it to repeat. So let's say I want that every single, week on Monday. So I can go ahead and click every week on Monday. Or I can put every weekday, Monday to Friday. That's pretty convenient, right? So I can go ahead and just block that out. So I can hit save and you'll see that it just auto populates in there. And the neat thing is let me go ahead and I'll advance 1 week. Boom, it's still on there. So it's going to keep repeating until I delete that or cancel it. Now, if it's something that you don't want to keep on there, you can click it, you can trash it, and you can even delete it. Okay, so it says this and all the following events, right? So if I click that, it just disappears. Okay. Now, let's say you want to block out maybe from 10 to 12. Maybe that is your, prospecting time. So this could be prospecting time. Okay. And again, you could actually put that, like clicking on that, you're going to put repeats, every day, Monday through Friday. And then you could actually add in the description a couple different things. And I think this is a really neat feature that I've actually been using with all my client meetings. You can add in the description, things that you'd like to do. You can even add like a bulleted list. So let's say, for example, you want to
connect with people on LinkedIn.
Connect with people on LinkedIn.
Reach out to podcast hosts on Matchmaker. Follow back up with people on Facebook. You can create whatever you want. And the other great thing about Google Calendar, much like others, is you can actually sync. If you use Zoom, you can sync your Zoom account to this. So you can actually, like if people book a call, it'll automatically generate a Zoom meeting and it sends it right to them and they accept it, which I love that feature with it as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, and the other thing, and again, I think this is available to everybody, but this is one little new thing that I started using was create meeting notes. And if anyone knows me, I mean, I stinking love like anywhere I can create like an agenda or have, a notes or, something like that. Well, what you can do is it actually allows you to create a little notes attachment. So let's see, I can go ahead and hit save, right?
And Vanessa, it's because this is a new calendar, so she didn't connect Zoom to it yet, but on her other calendar, it is connected. So yeah, it's a second step when you want to connect Zoom to it.
Yeah. Yep. And again, those are Googleable things, right? How to connect Zoom to my, Google Calendar, things like that. So in here, I just showed you how you can also add a little notes. So this will bring up a little Google Doc and you can actually have a little agenda. So again, I always love a little checklist or whatever. So you can put certain things that you like to do for prospecting, right here on the calendar. How clear is that? It's like, all right, it's 10 o'clock. What do I need to be doing? It's right there. Right.
Is there a paid version for the Google platform, Nance? Someone asked.
Paid version for the Google. Yes, I will. You know what? I know the business space, there are certain upcharges. I do have, I've used the paid and the free. I did have to upgrade my account because I work with tons of clients that actually send large files. So I upgraded for storage. And then also when you do create your Google like professional email, and what I mean by professional email, that's like where you add, your business name or the domain like after it. So instead of saying nancy@gmail.com, you can add your business name. When you set up that workspace, you can create other people on your team. So you could do like a support at, your business or whatever. And that does cost. The other thing that people didn't really know about and don't really know about is, let's say you have a local business, or maybe you're a realtor, or maybe you are someone who really doesn't want people to have your personal number. Google does have I forget exactly what it's called, but it's like a Google call or Google phone. It might be Google phone, but there's a way to actually set that up at a very low fee.
Google Voice. That's right, Amy.
Google Voice. There we go. Thank you. And you can actually set up. So I actually did this for my cleaning business because I didn't want to use my personal phone for all the business calls. And the coolest thing ever is you can actually add your team members on it so they can receive calls as well. So Google has just a lot of really, really awesome things. So I just invite you to go in there, check it out. Again, I could do this all day long, kind of block and show you how I do this. But the other key thing, well, I want to show you here is if you don't want to make it blocked out, you can change it from busy to free. Okay. And that comes into play again, if you have a program like Calendly or an electronic scheduler. And can you guys drop in the chat box? Do any of you have an electronic scheduler or a way for people to book calls?
Good.
Okay, we've got a couple for Calendly. Okay,
Acuity
perfect.
is another one.
Yep.
Time Trader. Yep.
Exactly. Okay. So for anyone who doesn't have it, and I think I mentioned the other day, I work with a lot of health insurance brokers, and this is something that we usually get set up with them, pretty quickly, because one, we want to make sure that if we're putting content out there and if we're showing up and we're doing all these things, people have a way of, going ahead and booking a call with us if they're interested. So I have a lot of different things in Calendly. And just so you guys know, I do believe that Calendly does have a free version where you're only able, I think, to create like one type of call. But the whole point here is Calendly connects to a calendar. So mine is connected to my BYOB agency, this calendar that I'm showing you, my Google Calendar. So people aren't able to schedule things if I'm busy during that time. Okay. So
and Amy, yes. When you create different calls in Calendly, you can actually change the color icon of that call. So it syncs up differently.
Yep. Yeah. You can go in.
Acuity does that as well.
Yep. It's really neat. You can change like the colors. Sometimes people like to do like family events a certain color. In fact, you could create a whole entire calendar. I mean, you saw how easy it was, right, to create that CEO schedule. You guys could create a family calendar. So it could be like kids' school events or things like that. You could color code it and then layer it on top of your regular calendar just to, again, be able to see things, at a nice little glance. Okay. So I just, again, I don't want to go too deep into Google Calendar. I mean, I could sit there all day. Like I should do a training just on Google products.
And if everybody is clear so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. So we're really focusing on getting your business organized, and it really does start with having a calendar, having a way for people to schedule calls with you. Again, this does not correlate to how much money you are or are not making. You could be just starting off and not making much. You should still have some sort of calendar like this, and you should have some sort of scheduler like Acuity, like Calendly, any of those. Keep whatever you're using. And again, it's when you're starting to take your business seriously and when you are really looking to get your business organized, these are the key things that you're going to need. Because again, what we're going to be teaching you tonight, getting everything organized is going to help you leverage tomorrow night even more, which is actually mapping out your dream business. Because once you've identified your bottlenecks, once you have created that CEO schedule, and now that you're getting your business organized using a Google Calendar or whatever calendar you're using a scheduling link where people can book with you, and taking advantage of a project management tool like Trello, which we're going to get into, now you can see clearly the path that you're looking to lay down to build out that dream business, which we're going to show you exactly how to do that tomorrow night.
Yep, absolutely. So, I just had a little slide in here. Just make sure, to sync your calendars. And, this is something that even I had forgot, the ability to do so much of the syncing because I've been using Google for so long. But I did do a little digging today, and I think someone shared it earlier, but you can, your Outlook, like all the different ones, you can sync to your Google Calendar. So if you're already using different things for clients or for different people, it's possible. So absolutely make sure to sync everything, and then it'll all be in one place instead of driving you crazy. All right. So today, day 3, right? We're going to learn how to get organized in your business. And I'm really going to be sharing some solid gold with you and some stuff that took me years to actually learn and to understand and really like wrap my head around. But I'm going to be sharing it with you in the most simplest way. And just really my goal is is yes, we might be learning something new today. Okay. For those of you who might have used Trello or haven't used Trello, but I want you guys to really kind of open up and say, you know what? I'm going to learn something new. It might be something that I'll be able to use in my business. But what I really want to be honest and I really want to share with you is that every single online business owner, every business owner really that I've ever worked with that was successful and was rocking and rolling and had those processes and procedures in place had what we're going to talk about, which is a project management tool. Okay.
Now,
Every single one of them.
How many of you, type yes or no, how many of you are familiar with what a project management tool is? Yes or no in the chat box. So we have yes, we have no, yes, yes, no. Okay. So we have a mixture of yeses and nos, which is really good. So Nance, why don't you dive in a little bit deeper for those that aren't really sure of what it is, what a project management tool is?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it's different from Salesforce. I knew somebody dropped that in there. So basically, I'm going to give you a little story, a little behind the scenes, and then I'm going to give you the definition, the official definition. Okay. So here's a little overview of just, a general entrepreneur starting their business online. Okay. They start out, they're super inspired, they're excited, they're engaged. They're like, yes, my business, it's so exciting. And then what happens is we call it the dip. It's usually about 3 months in, 4 months in. You start to get overwhelmed and frustrated, with the things that need to get done in your business, right? You need to generate leads, but at the same time, you need to build out some of these foundational things in your business. Well, getting a project management system in place for your business will make things much better. Okay. Someone said called the valley of despair. So I promise you, right? And again, I mentioned this is one thing that every single business I worked with, if they did not have this in place, we did the kitchen drawer exercise, right? We dumped out all the things that they were doing and working on, and we got them organized in a project management system. And guys, this is where we were, right? Just like 3, 4, 5, years ago. And this is what our business looked like. Okay. So just throwing some things out there. And, of course, you guys saw in the assessment, there's a lot of different things, right? That come into play that we need to do and create and so on and so forth. I called it the patchwork quilt. You remember that, Scott?
Yeah.
I used to laugh and I'm like,
it's a great visual.
I'm like, man, I was like, our business is like a patchwork quilt. And we were so frustrated. I mean, beyond frustrated. And it was funny because I remember saying to Scott, and it always felt like in the morning when we were working out. And I remember sitting there and I'm like, this cannot be the way. We are just throwing spaghetti at a wall. We're kind of going by things day by day. Scott would come in my office and then just do a dump on me oh, we need to do all these things. And then I would just be like, oh my gosh, what was I just working on? And it would just totally throw me off track. So we really didn't have any kind of organization to anything. Okay. So I want to promise you that there is a better way. Okay. So if you have an online business, and again, there are certain things that I always say, especially with entrepreneurship, it's almost like there's laws, right? There's a line in the sand. And I really cannot stress this enough. If you have an online business, it's time to get a project management tool in place. Okay. So that is one of the foundational key things. Okay. And the project management tool that we're going to dive into shortly is free. Okay. So I want to make sure that you guys know that. So what is a project management tool officially? So it is a tool that allows you to create reoccurring tasks, plan out projects, organize your content, delegate to a team, and more.
And
okay.
Nance, if I can just chime in really quickly.
Yep.
So you can literally, and this is why we're teaching you this tonight, because tomorrow we're going to teach you how to map out your dream business. You could literally, using this free project management tool, plan out every single year of your business, every task that you have, every project that you're working on, and when, content and when you want to post it. If you have a VA, you can add them to this tool. You can have there are so many incredible things that you can do with this. So again, if you're feeling overwhelmed and oh my God, there's something else being put on my plate right now, that is okay. This is normal. Whenever you're taking a peek behind the curtain of what it actually takes to run a full-scale online business, whether you've been in business for years or just starting out, this is how you should feel, because it's exactly how Nancy and I felt. And once we got the wheels on the bus going, you end up feeling so much better because you understand exactly how important this thing is.
Yep, absolutely. And it's really funny because I'm going to share with you, I have Trello boards, and of course I'm going to show you what all that means and everything shortly, but I have Trello boards from like 2000, I don't even remember, right? When Scott and I, first started really building our business, and I still have them in there, and it makes me giggle because I have all my homework, for Scott. It was like, do this, do that, research that, write content on this. Like I used to give him like a little mini calendar of like, all the different things that, we need to look into. And anyway, it's really funny. And, again, it was something that really helped us, like Scott said, get the wheels on the bus and get things really organized, in the business. So I did my due diligence, right? Of course, with my knowledge, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like just biased because I love using it so much. But I surveyed a group of online business managers. And if you guys don't know what an online business manager, man, these people know their stuff. Okay. So online business managers manage, all things with online businesses, everything from general tech and organization to project management, and so on and so forth. Okay. So I surveyed the group of online business managers, and out of all of the responses, the top 3 that they recommended for a project management tool were Trello, Asana, and ClickUp. Okay. Now I have my thoughts. Obviously, I've used every single one of them. But for everyone who is on this call, everyone who works, whether it's one-on-one with clients or, maybe you have group coaching programs or coaching programs, if you guys are a small to maybe medium-sized business, Trello will be a fit for you. Okay. Yep. The other thing I want to throw out there is I've used other ones, but still use Trello. Okay. I use Trello with my clients currently to this day. So for you guys who don't know, I have an agency, right? And we work directly with clients. We actually do content creation and repurposing. I use Trello to build out the entire year, every single week, right? All the weeks in their, in their business, and we build out their content, and we use Trello to do it because it's so easy for clients to get up to speed with. In fact, they love it. In fact, funny little story. We have a local university right up the road that actually started working with us, and we're doing, marketing for their internship fair. And I showed them Trello, and they started geeking out about it and really loving using Trello. And now they're going to be using it for all different things. And they were like, you just literally blew my mind. I mean, I can't believe that we've never used this before. So Trello is going to be really eye-opening for some of you who have never really used it before. But I promise you, again, I did my due diligence. I made sure to follow up and, check with others as well. But it has the shortest learning curve. Okay. And I know we already asked this earlier, but if you guys can drop again in the chat box, have you ever used Trello? Okay. And if yes, on a scale of 0 to 5, how comfortable with using it are you? Okay. So we've got some no's. I know we've got some yeses, we got a little bit of a range. Okay. Got it. So again, we are going to be learning a little something new. Okay. So the way that I'm going to kind of just start going over Trello, I took this little screenshot. This was actually an advertisement that Trello had. What it is Trello is a project management program that is Kanban style. Okay. And whenever I say Kanban, it's like this, right? The doing or to do, doing, done. It has a lot of cool features where you can drag and drop and move things around, but it's very simple. Okay. And what we're looking at here, where it says to do, that's what we call a list. So you can build a lot of different lists. And under that, you can add, all the different cards in there. Okay. So again, full transparency, I have used Trello with attorneys, insurance brokers, doctors, financial advisors, health coaches, so many different types of people. I've even used it with family members to organize stuff that we just needed to get organized. I've used it with realtors. In fact, in my own real estate business, I used to have all kinds of cool stuff built out in Trello to keep me on track. The other thing that's neat, I used to have an accountability partner. So if anyone has ever had an accountability partner and you find it really tough to actually find time to meet or to coordinate and to show you what you've been getting done, my first accountability partner, Adele, and we actually created a Trello board, which I'm about to show you, where we were actually able to add all the things that we wanted to get done. And then we would slide it. And it was cool because we were able to collaborate and we both could see the board and interact with it. So it was a really neat process and a way for us to connect on that level. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. So can you guys type a Y or yes in the chat box if you are ready? So we're going to go on a little journey. And it's so funny because Scott's always like, don't go too fast.
Well, I just want everyone to take a deep breath. And again, the point of tonight is for you not to master Trello. It's not. It's to understand the power of Trello. And there's obviously an accountability assignment attached to this. But again, this is going to be your foot in the door with Trello. And again, we're bringing this to all of you because remember, the point of this entire workshop is to help you get organized from A to Z, from day 1 to day 5, understanding your bottlenecks, creating that CEO schedule, organizing your calendar, having a booking link, getting your project management tool, such as Trello, in order, building out that dream business and staying consistent. So again, teaching you this layered flow of exactly how to leverage all that. So if everybody is clear on that, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. Okay, good. Nance?
Excellent. Yeah. So just so you guys know, because, obviously tonight, I kind of wanted to, again, give you inspiration, show you, right, kind of hopefully spark some inspiration of some things that you can do on Trello. But what I did earlier before this call, I actually shot a little walkthrough video for you and I put it on the replay link page. So when you guys get that replay link, you got it yesterday. It's the same link, right? That's where all the videos are going to appear. I did add a little section. This is under day 3, and it's a little section that says, if you'd like to get started and learn more about Trello, click here. And it's a little video that walks you through from start to finish to signing up for a Trello account. And again, do the free account. Don't do the free trial. Don't do anything. Just click for, the free version. And you guys, it walks you through, from getting started at the very basic level, and creating your first board. Okay. So that is available for you guys. That is on the replay page. And of course, the link will get sent out again tomorrow, but it will also be the same exact link that you've been viewing so far. Okay. So the couple things that I want to just point out with Trello is Trello has things called workspaces. Okay. And they used to call these teams, but workspaces are neat little ways to organize big things. Okay. So for example, and this is the example I gave in my video, if you wanted to organize, let's say you had multiple businesses, maybe you're doing real estate, maybe you've got, I'm giving myself an example of what I was doing at one point. You had a cleaning business, a real estate business, a coaching business, a little bit of everything. You can create what we call a different workspace. Okay. So again, and the way that they describe it is a workspace is a group of boards and people, and you can use it to organize your company, a side hustle, family, or even friends. Okay. So in this example, I'm showing you how I created. So this is my workspace. It's my Nancy business workspace. And within that workspace, I'm able to create up to 10 different boards. Okay. Now, if you've never seen Trello, you've never even know what that looks like. You don't even know what a board is. Okay. So I'm going to show you what a board is. So you can do it simply. And as you get started, I do invite you to play around a little bit. That's what I always tell my clients. I'm like, get in there and play with it a little bit. Like I promise you, it's very intuitive. It reads left to right, but I'm going to show you right now by just clicking on create new board. Okay. So first off, we're going to create a board title. All right. So just think of the things that you want to kind of organize, and just to give you some ideas, right? I've already kind of
let's ask them. So guys, if you could create a project management board of the most important thing that you need to focus on every day in your business, what would you title that board within Trello? Type that answer in the chat box. Content creation board. Yep. Prospecting board, social media board. Awesome. Prospecting. That's great. Yeah. So it could be lead generation, social media. Awesome.
Yep. Excellent.
So, yep.
Yeah. So let's do prospects. Let's do, I like that one. So let's do a prospecting board. Okay. And I think I already have one in there, but just for, to show you how to build this from scratch. So let's do, I'm going to add an extra D because I think, again, it's probably going to say you already have that. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit create. It allows you to like change the background to a color and different things. You can always change that at any point. So I never really do that when I first start, and you can hit create. Okay. So once you hit create, this is what it looks like, right? It's nothing. It's like a blank canvas. So it's really, the sky's the limit on all the different things that you can add. Okay. But what I want to walk through now, okay, is let's think about the types of things that we might want to kind of list out here. Okay. So I was just talking with someone the other day, and, they were saying, what, it's really important to have a dream list of your top, 100 ideal clients, right? So I'll put on here, maybe dream client list. Okay. So that you can literally list out, person by person could be underneath of that. You could create this in many different ways. Maybe we put, let's see, maybe we just do dream lists. Okay. And then you can actually do, a couple things under that. So I'm going to go back and kind of break this down a little bit more, but I want you guys to think about what are some other things that we can put on here, right? So how about cold leads, right? So this is where someone's kind of starting.
So type in the chat box, what are some things that you would put on here if it was your prospecting board? So what are some things that you would list? So your dream list, your cold leads, your warm leads, referrals. There you go. Facebook friends. Okay. Your chicken list. Yep. That's, everybody needs a chicken list. Your follow-up list. Yep. Chicken list came up twice. What's
a chicken list?
Chicken list are the people that, like, when you think about, like, it irks you, like it scares you to actually want to reach out to them. It's the people that, like, yeah. So it's that they call it the chicken list because you're scared to do it, but it's like those people that you really should be talking to.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't even realize that. Okay. So we can even add that. Now, I want you to think about it this way, right? So if we were to actually start, adding people to, these lists or whatever, what do we want to do with them? We want to take them through our sales process, right? We want to nurture them. We want to connect. We want to engage. So after someone's a cold lead, what happens next? If we reach out, let's say, for example, let's say we have a cold lead. This is Bob Doe. Okay. So let's say we connected with Bob Doe, on LinkedIn. What are some things that we can do kind of next stage with Bob to get to know him a little better? So you guys can drop in the chat box.
So you have a cold lead, you just connect with Bob. What are some things? Nurture email. There you go. That's awesome. So you can send a nurture email.
Okay. How about you want to book a call with him? So book a call.
How about engage with his content on social media?
How about nurture?
Yep.
Right.
Comment on post. Yep.
Let's see. Okay. So, and you might want to move these around a little bit. So, let's say.
So you can click and drag just like Nancy is showing you. So like they're like sticky notes. They're like virtual sticky notes. You can kind of move them all over the place.
Yep. So I could, let's say, for example, you know what? I think Bob would be a really great, in fact, Bob could have been over here in my dream list. Maybe Bob has, the company that I, really want to work with, and he would be amazing. And if you want to delete Bob, he's no longer applicable. You archive him. Okay. So Bob just goes away. Now, the neat thing is you can start with Bob and take him through your process. So maybe Bob's a cold lead. Maybe he, you move him into nurture. And then maybe you eventually book a call with him. Now, usually after booking a call, you might want to follow up, right? Either Bob's hired you or you might need to follow up with Bob. Okay. And then other things, right? So you guys can actually build this out to what your process looks like. Okay.
So if this is starting to make sense for all of you, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. So basically you're creating your systematic flow for the processes that you want to stay organized with. So it could be literally anything. It could be, social media, right? You can have, post on Facebook, post on Instagram, video on LinkedIn, whatever it is. And you basically create your process and you move things through. And it just really helps you organize and get all of those thoughts, all the things that you want to do. How many of you at the end of each day, you're like, man, I had so much more to do. I wish I could have gotten to it. Because again, if you don't have it written down, if you don't have a safe space for it, it's not going to get done.
Absolutely. So this was the board that I actually created right before our training call, just to kind of, it was already, I had, already put it together. So I wanted to show you that there's ways that you can actually organize your lists. So I do this, which I actually add, so you can type out things. So I organized, power partners, or, as was mentioned, referrals, dream clients, like I mentioned. So what you can do is you can create a card. You can type out whatever it is. So, above I had power partners. So just to show you how I did this, and you hit enter. Now you can click on that card and it's going to give you a little more, more to do. What you can do to do what I did over here to kind of separate things a little bit is to create a cover. So you just click on cover. And then you can select a color, which I just did, this little aqua color, you can do that. It gives you a couple different options of what it'll look like. If you see, when you click on it, it'll show you. Or if you guys decide you want to, kind of have some fun with it, and you can use photos. So this one for power partners, maybe I want to do, like a superhero or something, some awesome power partner. So here, let's do like Spider-Man. So you can, do whatever works best for you, right? So again, that gives you a way to kind of organize it, and then you can put different things under that. So let's say, Bob is, again, maybe a dream client. Maybe you have a really awesome power partner who is like, Susie C, who's a coach, whatever. You can drag her under power partner. Okay, so you can see how you can drag that stuff and kind of keep it organized, here, there, and everywhere. And again, if you want to get rid of stuff, you can just hit archive and it disappears. All right.
And as far as it's the wallpaper where you got the money, that's when you create the board, you can add a background if you want, correct?
Yep. So whenever you want to change, and I always, guys, I know like sometimes some people really like to get like really customized and fun. I like to kind of envision, right? Like what I'm going for here. So whenever you create a board, you can go over here to where it says show menu, this top right section. You click on it and it says change backgrounds. Okay. Now, the other neat thing is you actually can upload your own pictures. So if you really want to get specific with your business, and maybe you want to have some of your cool little business logos or something like that, you can absolutely do that. But if you click on photos, right? So I'm clicking on photos. All I did was search money. Okay. So when we're prospecting, what's the goal, right? We want to generate some monies. So, I did $100 bills. You can do dollar bills. You can do whatever you want. You can do a little, change all kinds of cool stuff. So that's how you change the backgrounds. Now, just like I was showing, the neat thing that you can do with these leads and kind of using it in this way, you can also create templates. Okay. Now I created a little section here. It says contacts, right? Because everybody starts usually as a contact in some way, shape, or form, right? So I created a little contact template card. Okay. And what you can do is with a template card, instead of hitting copy, you can just hit create card from template. Okay. So it'll open this up. So let's say I have a new person, that I'm going to be, talking with. So Scott, Aaron. Okay. And then create card. Okay. And then the other thing that I want to show you is in this template card, I actually created a little checklist for myself. So connect on LinkedIn, send a message, booked a call. You could really add like a bunch of different things. But the checklist is over here. You can add a bunch of different checklists. So let's say you wanted
how would you say this differentiates from a CRM?
Oh, yeah. So you can use it. In fact, and I don't want to go too high level. For those of you out there who already have a CRM, it works for you. Awesome. But for anyone who is a little techie and kind of knows some, a thing or two, there's something called Zapier. And you're actually able to set up Zapier so that, for example, if someone signs up or joins your email list, for example, you can set a Zap So it adds a contact card for that person and it generates to your prospect board. And the power of that is what happens usually when we collect emails. It might just be collected and we don't really nurture them. We don't really do much. But connecting it in this way, it drops all the new contacts in there where you're able to slide them, move them around, and you're able to kind of do this really without having to do much. But, you're able to, use that to do that process. All right. So I'm going to kind of move through. I actually did not realize we were moving so fast tonight. But anyway, so this again is an example of a prospect board. Okay. You can build it out. I even created a little ghosted section. So let's say Scott never showed up. He ghosted. I'm going to put him in this little section. Okay. Now, if you guys are in here and you want to get back to all your other boards, you just click on your workspace name, which is Nancy Business for Me. You click View Workspace Page. Okay. And you're going to go back to your other thing. Now, for the sake of time, guys, because we do have to go over, the homework winners for tonight and everything else, I'm going to give you a really quick view of some other examples of boards that you can create. Okay. So one is a weekly CEO schedule. You can actually create a list of all the different routines you do. Okay. And I, again, did this really quickly before our call, so I didn't add like everything in here, but you can start to build out all the different things that you need to do. All right. The other thing that I wanted to note is every single Trello board has a link. Okay. So for example, this is my weekly CEO schedule. I have a little section here on Monday that I need to create content. So I actually put the link to my content creation board for quick access. Okay. So again, I'm going to go back here. Okay. So boom, right. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you my content creation board. Now, guys, full transparency, this is what I do with every single one of my clients. Whenever I said earlier, I have every week for the entire rest of the year mapped out. I'm not even kidding. Okay. We actually do long-term kind of big high level market planning where it's like, all right, we got a launch coming up in like 5 weeks. So we got to make sure to start planning for it. But what I do is we create, okay, like each different week is broken out. And this is just content. I want you guys to think about this, right? The way that we usually teach content is leading with one main kind of topic for the week and kind of breaking it down in different ways. Well, just to showcase like how amazing this can be. So I have a little workflow, and this is full transparency behind the scenes, what I use. So my workflow is actually like Monday motivation. So I'll post a quote. I've got a little video on Tuesday. I've got a Wednesday. I work it, promo. Thursday, I usually ask a question. Friday, I feel good. Now, if we're going to use this process every week, I can just click that. I can make a copy of it. Boom. Okay. Now I'm going to slide it underneath. And I want to just, again, show you how cool this is. Actually, can you guys type in the chat box? Does anyone use Canva currently? So Canva is a graphics creation program. Please let me know if you use Canva.
Some yeses. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So majority are of yeses. So check out this. So I grabbed a couple things that I already had created earlier in Canva. So check this out. I can drag and drop an image that I created in Canva and watch what happens.
Gives you a preview of, it generates a preview of what you created.
Yep. So I can drag and drop it and look how visual. And this is what my clients love is like, oh my gosh, yes, I know exactly what's going to be posted. This is so great. The other thing is when you're planning out your content, because guys, this is how we get weeks in advance, right? We get things built out. You can click on it and add the copy that would go in the post. Okay. And that's a way to hit save. You could type out blah, 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 and then add the hashtags and whatever, and go from there. The other thing that I want you to keep in mind, so over here on my workflow, I added a little checklist for myself to make sure to schedule it on BYOB social. Just giving you an example, right, of how you can do that.
Oh, now, I mean, Vanessa, you would either have to post it to social media or yourself, or use a scheduling
or scheduling. Yep, this is the
one we have.
Yeah, this is like when you're creating it and you're trying to just get it organized, or if you maybe have an approval process, with a client or a team member. But the way that I do it is, boom, it's now in here. So if you're going to go ahead and schedule it, it's as simple as clicking on that image, saving that image. Okay, so I'm just, saving it. You can save it as whatever you want. Okay, it's going to save it now to my desktop. So whenever I go to use BYOB social, all I have to do is drag and drop it and then copy and paste what is, in here.
Yep.
And that's it. But again, it's all nice and organized. I've got everything in here and I've got it built out. Okay. Now, again, for purpose of time, I'm going to show you a couple other examples, right? So the business foundations, was something, right, that we kind of talked about. So the business hub. Okay. So you can always, and I always recommend to everyone, create some kind of business hub for your business. Okay. And this is a place where you organize everything. Okay. I have this for my business. And one of my favorite things about it is I map out all the courses I've ever purchased. This is my rule. I have to have them listed in here or else they never happened, right? How many of you have purchased courses and they go to the inbox and then they totally end up lost and you have no idea where they are? Okay. So this is a place where to, again, keep all that stuff in one place, right? I have a little thing here where it's like software programs and tech. So you can list out, the different things that you use, important links, right? So you can kind of organize and separate it there. Now, the other thing, okay, so I'm going to go back to this workspace page. I did want to share with you because I mentioned how much I love Google, okay? So you can't upload videos, right? Let's say, for example, you shot a video on this. You can't upload videos, but what you can do is you can share the URL to your Google Drive. So I want to show you, this is literally a video I actually did, and I created a Google Drive and it's called My Videos for 2022. So if you click on it, it actually takes you right to that video folder. And even, if we wanted to get even more specific, I could get the link directly to that video and then boom, there it is, right? So again, I can actually get that link, copy it, and then put it right there, right? So I can just paste it right there. And that takes me right to that video that's going to be posted that week. Again, keeping it in a nice little container so you can stay nice and organized. And again, it took me a long time to kind of learn how to do this and to streamline it. But it works for podcasting. It works for video. It works for breaking different processes down. It can just be such a game changer in your business. And lastly, the thing that I wanted to share with you is, for example, okay, so remember that little assessment I had you guys do, right, on Monday? Okay, and it had a lot of things that maybe you wanted to get done that you're like, you know what, I'm going to have to put that on my to-do list. I'm not going to be able to get to it for a while. Well, what you can do is you can create a board called Business Foundations. And this is a little hack I wanted to share with you of how it can really save you time, but also get it somewhere where you can kind of see it and map it out. So you can go right to that assessment, copy it, right? So just hit copy, go down here to add a card, go ahead and paste. When you click add card, look how cool this is. It says, if you want, we can create a card for every new line. Sure. So I just copied all those tasks that I eventually want to get done, right? So if I know one of the bottlenecks, right, is that I haven't figured out my hourly rate. So I drag that up to do, right? So that's something that I definitely want to get taken care of. And I wanted to make sure to do it. Okay. Let's say I don't have a value ladder. So I add that to my to-do. Okay. So you can do this for every little section of that workbook of things that you eventually want to build out. And the neat thing is as you do them, you can really, this is building out, again, the foundations, have it all in a nice, really organized spot. Okay. So it's really neat. And if you guys use like Excel, spreadsheets, things like that, there's a really cool way to, be able to copy, like I just showed you, where you can copy and paste multiple things and it'll go ahead and auto generate that. And then whenever you are done with a task, there's lots of different ways that you can, get rid of them. You can either, move them to the done, which you see I've created kind of like a little system here where you can kind of drag them into wherever they're at.
Or archive it.
Yep, you can archive it. You can actually create another list over here and just call it done, right? I love it. In fact, one of my team members, because a way that you can also use this, let's say you just onboarded a new team member. Okay. I just onboarded a new one last week. Okay. And his name is Mark. So I actually have a board that's called Mark's Tasks. Okay. So Mark loves Trello. I actually asked him, I was like, what's the best way for me to give you tasks? And he's worked with so many different people. I said, absolutely, I can get everything there. So I built out a little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you get the picture, right? And what I did is I actually started adding tasks, check support email. And because I'm so crazy thorough. I just put the estimated time, right? 10 minutes, how long it should take. And I go through and we can add different things. I also have like a one-time project section for him. So let's say I want Mark to actually, in fact, full transparency, Mark is actually building out the support backend of BYB Social, our social media scheduling platform. So right now he is building out the BYB Social help desk. Okay. And the neat thing is too, is within that task, I can put a little checklist of all the different things, I need him to do is, first log into whatever, blah, blah, blah. The other thing that I can do is I can shoot a quick little video. I actually use Loom. And I can shoot a quick little video and show him what I need him to do and put that Loom link right in there. Okay.
So if everybody is getting the concept, I know we've gone over time tonight,
Yep.
But if everyone is getting the concept of this, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. Now, Nancy, was there something that you wanted to show them, the example board or something that you had created?
Well, yeah. So one thing, and that's actually something that we're super excited about. So Scott and I, we teach people obviously, how to do a lot of different things. And, Scott is the LinkedIn expert. And actually, I can't even find the screenshot for that, Scott. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. But anyway, we're actually in the process of building out. Oh, I did find it. Something really awesome. And it's mainly all around the foundations of your business. Okay. So what we are doing is creating a program, and we're actually going to talk about it a little bit tomorrow for anybody who is interested. And what it is it's taking all those things that we need to do, right? Whether it's the client onboarding, whether it's, putting different things in place in your business. It's how can we do that in a plug and play manner, meaning there's already templates to go ahead and create that welcome onboarding email. Boom, just fill in your information here and let's go ahead and plug it in. You need to maybe set up an email service provider, right? So we talked about that a little bit the other day. And for people who have never set up, anything, which is that automated email that might go out or a way to send weekly newsletters. We wanted a way to be able to teach people quickly and kind of give them like actionable deadlines and things like that. So we're in the process right now of building out a really cool program. And part of it and the foundational backbone of it is Trello, because it was funny. Scott and I were walking one day and I was asking him, I'm like, why do most people not achieve their goals? Why do most people not have success, in their business? And a lot of it comes down to consistency. A lot of it comes down to life, right? Just kind of gets, in the way and it starts happening and we kind of get off track. But I thought, how cool would it be if you had such a clear, structure and a clear way to really get those things knocked out that you really need to get done, but make it a lot easier. So I took a little screenshot. So one thing that's going to be in the program. So actually, let me see. Okay, so can you guys
and our expert authority mastermind? We have some of our mastermind members on here. They know that they're going to have access to this when it's done and ready. But we're going to be talking a little bit more deeply about it. We're very, very excited about this because there's a lot of people that maybe don't have a lot of the pieces of their business and the puzzle in place. And we wanted to give them a very do-it-yourself, plug and play, step-by-step way of getting all of that stuff organized and ready to rock.
Yep. So we actually are creating, so it's a 6-month course and it's literally plug and play and has every single thing that you need to really build out all those different things from that assessment. So any of those gaps you had and you're like, oh man, when am I going to get around to, updating my this or my that or whatever, it's all included. Like, it's go ahead.
Yeah. So if you guys feel with where you are now, something like that would really help you, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box, because again, we want to make people's lives easier, not more difficult. And
yeah, well, I was just going to say, so after doing this for so long and working behind the scenes for so many people, and all these people are charging such ridiculous amounts of money for just general knowledge, I feel like every business should have. And also there are so many ways to streamline things, right? So if I were to just say to you guys, go build your sales funnel, tomorrow, right? A lot of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, where do I even get started? What is that? Like, what are the pieces I need? I'm like, but how much easier would it be if I were to say, here you go, here's this piece, you just need to plug in a couple things that apply to you, here's that piece, and here's a couple templates, that are already pre-built out for you. Like an example I want to show you. So one thing that I want to include is just to give you an example of that client onboarding, like a welcome guide, right? That I was talking about the other day. So this is something I actually created in my business. And this is an example of a template that I would want to give to you guys, is a way to really show people how you work with them. Okay. So I have a neat little thing built out for my clients, and, it's something that they absolutely love. And I implemented that fairly, in the last couple of years. And it's something that they really like. And it's something that I think every business, if they're able to have it, shouldn't be rocket science, right? It shouldn't take forever. You shouldn't have to, sit there and not do it for 3 years. So if you had a template where you're able to go through and go, yep, my hours of operation are this, and you know what, my color is blue, so I'm just going to swap it and whatever, and add your logo, and then it's done.
Yep.
Okay. And it took
it's
20 minutes.
It's going to be very free flowing. It's going to be a 6-month self-guided program that you're going to be able to walk yourself through very, very simply. Again, any of our mastermind members that are on here, obviously they're going to have access to this as well. But we'll talk a little bit more deeply about it, but we just wanted to kind of plant the seed that this is something that we've been really building out. It's something that we're very excited about because we know a lot of people have been asking for this type of thing. So again, we'll get into more deeply about it tomorrow night with all of you. Just a couple last pieces of housekeeping. First, how great did Nancy do tonight? Nancy, that was amazing.
I tried to take it slow, but I know.
No, so you can see obviously the yin and the yang of Nancy and myself. She's definitely the tech person. I'm more of the way that we describe our business, the way that we run things, like a restaurant. I'm the one that's greeting you when you walk in. I'm walking around the tables. How's your food? You need more bread? You good? You want some more wine? Nancy's in the back. She's like that the chef from Muppets, like just cooking up like all this crazy stuff in the background. And it works really, really well. So Nance, just, rock solid job as always. Just, thank you for that.
No, thank you so much. And the other thing too, and we'll talk about it a little more tomorrow, is, just having
the Swiss chef, yes.
The Swiss chef. Yeah. And he has like that really like funny Yeah, no. So we're in this with you, and, we always want to give you guys so much value. So, I really hope that you guys might have learned something, right? A little bit more about Trello, but, the thing that I forgot actually, is, so I want to show you a little hack really quick, because I know your homework for tonight, okay, is going to be that you guys are going to sign up for Trello.
Yep. So your homework tonight, just not to cut Nancy off, you're going to sign up for Trello. It's Trello.com. And all you need to do is just set up your account and get your first board going. You don't have to add anything to it. Just start your first board. You're going to take a screenshot of it, and you're just going to post it in the comments on the day 3 Nancy's homework thread pinned to the top of the Facebook group. So if everybody is clear on that, drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. So you're starting your free account.
Yep.
You're going to create your first board, take a screenshot with your phone, drop that picture in the comments in the homework thread that's pinned to the top of the Facebook group.
Yes. And just so you guys know too, it takes like 2 seconds to kind of like log in and do all the things. So you guys, have fun, play around with it, drag and drop stuff and see how you can use it. And again, I did provide that video in the replay link. So if you guys are, curious, how to like get started and kind of that walkthrough, that video showing you exactly how I started and kind of built some of these out, it's on that replay link. So the little hack that I wanted to share with you guys, and obviously you can see I got some stuff on my desktop, but the little hack is if you want to make sure that you don't forget this link, right? You want to make sure that you can have access to it every single day, you know where to find it. You can highlight it. So just by highlighting this URL, and you can click on it and drag and drop it. Okay, so it now goes on your desktop. And it's a quick little link where all you gotta do is double click and it takes you right to your board. Okay. So daily check Trello. Okay. So you can add yourself maybe a little reminder, double click, and boom, again, you're to your whole little workspace there. Okay. The other thing that I want you to also remember is we talked earlier about your Google Calendar. So let me show you on here on Google Calendar, right here. So calendar. So you could actually, to maybe one of your things that you do. So here it's a weekly touch base. I could actually add, to something, I could add the URL link to my Trello board to that task, right? What I was showing you earlier with, time blocking. I think I did it on the CEO schedule. So you guys could add and put it in the little description section here.
Check Trello.
That's your Trello board, right? So check Trello and you put that as a reminder and boom, you can go right there. Because that's the biggest thing is, yes, we're going to create these boards. We're going to take the time to do this, but I want to make sure you guys stay consistent with it and you actually use it. Okay.
Yep. So again, the homework tonight, Trello.com, sign up for your free account. Just start your first board, whatever you want that board to be. Could be your prospecting board, whatever it is. Take a screenshot of it. And then you're going to drop it in the comments section of the homework thread at the top of the Facebook group. So if everybody is clear on that, drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. Okay, good. Now, what time are we meeting tomorrow night? What time are we meeting on Friday for happy hour? At 5 Eastern. Yes, you can bring a drink, wine, whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want. And then we have brunch on Saturday. That's our full Q&A, 60 minutes of live Q&A, 11 a.m. That is right, on Saturday. So as a reminder, the replay link will be sent out again tomorrow morning. It's the same replay page. Nancy's bonus Trello training is in there. You'll be able to access those replays until August 7th, which is a week from this Sunday. So you have like a ton of time to binge on this stuff, but you can also find the replay link in the guides section in the Facebook group. All you have to do is click on guides. You'll see day 1, day 2, day 3. That will be uploaded almost immediately. And again, we're very excited to talk to you guys a little bit more deeply about the new 6-month course that we're going to be launching. But also tomorrow night, we get to build out the framework for your dream business. So now that you've uncovered the bottleneck, you've understood exactly what your CEO schedule is going to be, and you understand now the importance of having a project management tool. Now it's time to build out that dream business. So drop a Y or a yes if you are ready to build out your dream business tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Awesome. All right. So our 2 homework winners from last night, Shantaine Rowe Bullock and Barbara Taylor. You were the 2 homework winners from last night. As a reminder, there's going to be 2 more winners tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. And you want to say hi?
Yeah. I also finished every season. Hi.
That's Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, I'll be there in a sec. So just remember, all prizes will be sent out after the trainings are done. So the end of the weekend, if your name was called, you'll be getting an email from myself and Nancy. So congratulations to those people. Don't forget, your homework has to be in by what time tomorrow night to count towards the homework prizes? What time? 7:30. So as long as your homework is put in before 7:30 p.m. EDT, you will qualify to win one of the prizes, or 6:30 Central. So everyone, we hope you enjoyed day number 3. We are excited for day number 4 tomorrow, helping you build out your dream business. Love and gratitude. Let's give it up for Nancy one more time, and we will see